Hello, I'm Elena O'Donnell. I'm the Resilience and Results Specialist, and today I'm interviewing someone I met through networking 2 years ago. So we've known each other for quite a while, and we bump into each other at least every couple of weeks, if not more often. When I first met Richard Ranson, we were kind of like kindred souls. We were talking about resilience, about how changing your mindset really helps you with facing challenges that we all have got in our lives. And I was very kind of interested in Richard's story because he had that massive breakthrough in his own life when he struggled with things, and then he discovered things about himself that help him change who he is and how he lives his life now. And Richard is very much interested in changing people's mindset as well as helping people live a healthy lifestyle, which is good for everyone, obviously, not just during the lockdown, but at all times. So Richard, what does resilience mean to you?
Hi, Marlena. Thank you for that introduction. Well, resilience, for me, it's very much, my understanding is very much about bouncing back from setbacks. No matter what that is in your life, it could be business related, it could be something personal or financial, but it's how much you want to get over something and what are you willing to do to overcome that. And for me, that's very much what resilient means to me.
In your opinion, are we born resilient or do we acquire resilience?
It's definitely something that you have to develop. You have to build it up through dealing with adversity and everything else in your everyday life and in your careers over time. If you acquire resilience, you can change your mindset, you can keep focused and surround yourself with positive people. That will all help you build up resilience. But I think until you go through adversity, learning how to cope with it isn't something that you're born with. I think you have to go through situations and actually develop that resilience yourself.
See,
part of the journey.
I have got a slightly different take on that, actually. I think that we all have got resilience within us, but we don't always see it. That's how I take it, because adversity, as you said it, right, kind of brings out the way we cope. So we either give in, right, into what goes on in our lives, or we face it and we go for it, we take actions to get ourselves out of the challenge. So it kind of like brings either we cope or we don't cope. But I think that that resilience is always within us, we just don't always see it. So if we think we're not resilient, then we give in into the challenge, right? Whereas we think, I've got everything it takes, I can do this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
no,
right?
I accept that. Yeah, definitely. No, I do accept that.
This was a tricky question because I wanted to have a bit of a discussion on that. I love having a discussion about what resilience means to people and whether people have it or they think they don't have the adversity, the challenges we have, kind of bring out whether the fact that whether we think we have resilience or whether we think we don't. And I've seen it for myself. When I think, oh, I can't cope, then I don't cope.
Yeah, you're probably right. I probably have had resilience in me, but not actually noticed it until I had to really deal with a challenge. And I've had quite a few of those in my life. So probably right. So there was me thinking that you aren't born with it, but you're probably right. We do have it in us. It just takes something, maybe being courageous to actually bring it out.
I think you're right. What you just said now about bringing it out is the challenge. How we deal with it shows us whether we've got all it takes, whether we see that fact that we're resilient or whether we lose sight of it. And it's very easy to lose sight of it, actually. And I was in a place in my life before when I thought, oh, this is too much, I can't do this, and then I didn't do it. I couldn't cope, and then when I realized actually it's my mindset. It's if I think I can do something, then I will just go for it and achieve the impossible, because this is the thing about adversity, right?
Yes.
It appears to be like, oh, it's the challenge is so big, how can I do this? And then it's very easy not to take any action and then just sit back and you think, oh, I can't cope. So as I said, I love asking this question because I just like to challenge people a little bit to see how they see it. So,
and it was a tricky question.
It was a tricky question, right? So what gives you strength to keep going when faced with challenges?
We'll use them as opportunities to grow stronger. And the only way to do that really is, I think, to focus on what I set out to achieve and try and keep on track, despite those obstacles trying to throw me off course. You know, you have to step over them. It's not a brick wall. You either go around it or you go over it. And that's really what keeps me going. But that is my challenge every morning. And I say to myself, you know, there's going to be challenges today, but I'm not going to let them stop me doing what I need to do. And they're only an opportunity to grow stronger. But the old me in my past would have seen it as a brick wall and let it stop me.
See, I love what you said about we face challenges every day. It's so easy to forget that, right? Because every day we have to do something that stretches us, right? I mean, during the lockdown,
exactly.
Challenges we have to adjust to the way we work, and there are issues with, all the time with various things that we are facing. And yet we go through these, we don't even notice that we cope with those challenges, right? And then every now and then something bigger, or appears to be bigger, comes along, or a combination of things. And we think, okay, this challenge is too big. So I love what you said about how you see the brick wall. You know, if you see it as a brick wall, I can't climb over it, then that's what the brick wall look like. Whereas when you see the brick wall, I just jump over it, walk around it. That's what you would do, right?
Yeah, I think it depends on the individual as well, Marlena. I mean, there's some people haven't developed themselves personally. They haven't got that self-development. And if I look back on my life, that's how I was before. I tended to see the negative, not the positive. And it was only by developing myself that I was able to develop that resilience and actually see the challenge as an opportunity.
See, I agree with you because I spend quite a lot of my time being in a situation as well. The brick wall would appear and I would be thinking I'm the victim of that brick wall rather than I can actually cope with that brick wall. I can go around it. What was the biggest challenge in your life and how you've overcome it? Because you kept alluding to it. So we are now very curious.
Oh, right. Well, my rock bottom really was 12 years ago. So I was struggling with life and work and even family life. And if I hadn't have changed, I risked losing everything. So I had to change that negativity. There were a lot of selfish actions and thoughts, often blaming others, and being very materialistic, focused on what I didn't have, not what I'd actually got. And I think that's a common thing that many people have, is they all want the next biggest, best shiny object. So for me, it actually took personal loss of losing my mother, a mindset shift that I wanted to make a change, and then to develop personally lots of positive self-development books, growing the people around me, the network of positive people. But I think the biggest thing was changing from being selfish to helping others, and realizing the importance of what I had, not what I didn't have. And could I afford to lose anything else that was very special to me? And that was the start of my journey over the last 12 years to where I am now.
Wow, that's amazing, because it is so easy to go through life thinking, I want this thing, that next thing that is on the horizon. I want that bigger car, a better house, a job that pays more money than I'm already having. And what am I going to do with this money? I'm not quite sure, but I want more. Right?
Yeah, it's common.
It's so easy to go through your life with that kind of a mindset, and actually not seeing that you already have got a nice house and a nice car or whatever it is that you already have, and not appreciate fully what you already got. And it's only when you are kind of losing something, it shifts your perspective. And I think a lot of people during the lockdown are experiencing that. We can't have what we had before. And it's very easy to kind of go into the mode, oh, I wish things were different and I wish I had that thing. But if we just look at things what we already have and what we can have, or what we can still do, we can still be in touch with people, we can still do lots of things.
Exactly.
That kind of changes the perspective from the lack to abundance, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's about being comfortable with what you have and who you are, and appreciating the good things, no matter what it is. And material things are just stuff; they come and go.
But you also mentioned something about changing from the negativity to positivity, and that's something within our control. The circumstances are not. Things happen that are beyond our control a lot of the time. I mean, certain things we can influence by our actions, but there are certain things that happen, and there's nothing we can do about this. But so you may think, okay, it's beyond my control, and the circumstances are making me feel in a certain way. Whereas in fact, you can choose your attitude. You can see the same thing in a different light, depending on on how on your own choice. So you can flip the negativity into positivity if you want to.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I totally agree.
What advice you would like to give to others to live a fulfilling life?
Well, I touched on being comfortable with yourself and who you are and what you have. Also about putting others first, pay it forward, build good quality relationships, choose to be happy, put others before yourself. And I think it's so important to make people feel special when you're around them. You do that. You made me feel special the very first time I met you. And to remember that being rich is not judged in terms of money and finances. Its richness is all the good things you have in your life, your friends, the family, the relationships. It's all about the journey. To me, that's what richness is about. It's not measured in how big your bank balance is, but unfortunately too many people do feel that way, and that's just material. For me, friendships are worth way more.
What would you give as advice to business owners?
Well, I think just don't focus solely on making money. Make sure you're adding value and benefit and good customer service. It's about how you make people feel. They remember how you made them feel, not what you said or did. And I think that's very important. And one thing I love is the saying, if you help enough people get what they want, then you'll get what you want to. And I think if you always take that approach with business, how can I help these people, these businesses, how can I offer value for money? And if you offer something that is of great value, then the price sometimes becomes irrelevant.
It's just such a nice thing to say, because I agree with what you said as well. It's very easy to run your business from the point of view of, I want this, I want to make money, rather than actually bringing value to other people, in a way, helping each other, and see it as a, how can I help you? How can I serve you better? How can I add value to your life? So that's a really important bit of advice that any business should really take on board, because we automatically spot it, right? When someone is kind of the way they conduct the business in a very selfish way. It's, I want your money. And then you think, well, what am I getting?
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it's about having a purpose that's greater than money. A lot of people say, well, I want to go into business because I want to make lots of money. Well, that's not a real purpose. It's not really leaving a legacy or making a difference. And I like to run my business from the point of view of, what am I doing for other people? What am I changing in their lives? And what purpose is it serving to them?
I love that. Thank you very much, Richard.
It was lovely to spend time with you, Marlena, and have a chat with you. So
thank you.